Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do an update energy reading for ATEEZ Hongjoong. He is the leader of ATEEZ. This was requested by someone in the comment section, so thank you. Always I appreciate your recommendations, so I'm going to start with him. The last time I read actually for him, the first time I did an individual reading for him, I remember it was probably like 3 months ago, and he was a bit worried. He was like overthinking a lot. He was probably because they were, I cannot remember really well, but I think they were about to enter kingdom or something like that, and I think that he was a bit like uncomfortable and a bit like restless with the fact that he just didn't want to mess up, or he didn't want all the members to actually like have a kind of accident. They are very passionate about what they do and their performance. So and obviously then we also saw them in another like appearances on other shows as well, where they performed. I believe it was weekly, and then other members had like acting roles in imitation K-drama. So I think that he definitely, as the leader, he does have a lot of responsibilities, and he is more involved in probably decision making, and taking care of every little detail. So maybe this is the reason why he was so caught up into his a bit of a negative thinking, but not negative is not the word, more like fearful of how things would turn out, and and well, they didn't win, but actually I think that this was a great opportunity for them to actually show themselves, and for people that didn't know about them to get to know them. I think they did pretty well. So let's start with the tarot cards that Hanjun got. He got the Four of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Two of Wands, and Nine of Wands. And then I pull out an extra card from the angelic, I don't know how to say angelical or angelic oracle, that it's called Listen to Your Intuition. So very profound message. So at first when I laid these cards, I was like, oh wow, like wow, this is something that I always want people to take into consideration. Why I take my time between readings, and why I do not read for them like every 3 days or like once a week. I wait for life to happen, and I wait for the events to happen. I wait for the energies to shift, the energies to flow of what I'm seeing or what I'm interpreting in the moment. And right now I definitely see him like with a new energy, very different from the energy that he was in that moment. Here, starting with the cards, this is um this tarot deck. It's very special. I really love it. And it's based on elementals, and it has a bit of an influence of the tarot, so it's a bit more profound, the meanings. For example, this is why I was struggling to remember the elements, because this is not the typical deck that is like, I don't know, the Four of Wands, the Nine of Wands. They have a different like interpretations. So for example, I want to read to you three of them that actually this it's like this these keywords. It's like it talks about the energy of the reading of the spread, and the ones that came out, it's stability, domination, and power. So definitely from what we were seeing him so preoccupied in the last reading, now I see him with this very new energy, with this energy where he's finally, I believe he's resting, but not in the sense of actually laying still. He's like enjoying more, probably having like a more organized environment, and also a bit more of an organized schedule, and him actually feeling like he is in control, and at the same time that there's security, there's a huge sense of security surrounding him right now when it comes to emotions, and also when it comes to maybe financial matters, maybe economical matters, maybe the dynamic of the group is getting back to what it used to be. So I think that he feels definitely more stable than how he felt back then when I did the reading for him. And it's really nice because I think that this stability is something that he was needing, but he just didn't know how to get it. And then with the Page of Pentacles, definitely it talks about how this stability is something that he had been working on, and probably he will be still working on a lot. This stability is something that he is enjoying right now, and that he will be able to enjoy in the next 6 months. And this stability is also going to let him and let the group probably like start a very passionate new beginning, where they are going to go full force with their project, with their upcoming project. I don't know, are they having a comeback or something like that? Maybe some ATEEZ can please give me some kind of update about if they are going to release something soon or not. Because here with the Ace of Wands, that it represents the Ace of Fire, it's a very passionate beginning. And I see a lot of wands, a lot of cards of action, the ones that I mentioned before, the domination and the power. So it's them actually joining all their passions and their strengths together. And I think that if they're having a comeback, this comeback is going to be very powerful, and it's going to have like a kind of concept that's going to be very, probably they are going to start with a very like sweet, not sweet, but very melodic kind of song, but then eventually they will go back to their usual style, or probably like a darker concept that is going to have very impactful kind of sound, like ATEEZ usually does, and with the choreography that it just gets stuck in your head and in your mind and in your memory. I think that they definitely are joining forces, and this is something that I think that they will feel so proud of each other. The fact that they never lost strength, they never lost motivation, they never it was like probably their minds, their heart were a bit exhausted and a bit like confused, but thankfully their body, their stamina, their physical strengths never left them. And I think that this is very important because they are actually artists that they use their body a lot to express in their to express in their performances. They definitely use their strengths, their physical attributes to give you a very emotional and a very strong perception of their dance and of their expression at the same time. So I think that they're really proud of themselves, how they maintain physically very strong and also very confident, even though there were moments where they thought they wouldn't make it, where there were moments where, of course, all of them were really busy. They had multiple projects at the same time. Some of them were going through a lot of emotional, personal stuff at the same time while participating. And I think that now they can finally be like, okay, we are ready for for this new beginning, for this new concept, for this new project. I think that they feel very confident. They feel and they have all this fire. And I think that he's very proud of the members. I think that he definitely feels like he is in the right place with the right people. And that the fact that he feels so powerful is because he can see all the efforts coming together. And I think that he takes a huge pride of this. I think that probably in the past, this was the reason why he wasn't able to express that he was a bit worried at the beginning, because he didn't want to influence others. But I think that now that this period or this cycle is over and they are starting a new one, he's like, oh my God, I feel like I'm in control again. I feel like I can rest when I have to, and I can recover energy, and at the same time, at the next day, I can return with more passion, with more incentive, with more motivation. I think he feels like also his energy is being renewed. And probably this is because of Mingy actually coming back. Probably he feels very relieved, because I don't see like any kind of worries here. I actually see them like being really dominating in the charts. Probably if they're going to release something, probably they are going to, I wouldn't say like the number one comeback, but probably like the second place, or being like not in number one spot, but being between the most popular comeback. Because I definitely sense with all these ones here, I definitely sense a lot of competition, and at the same time that this instance when they are going to release their material and their project, that probably there are going to be other comebacks as well. So it's going to be a very busy, a very competitive environment at the same time, because they all want to make it memorable for their fans and for the audience. So but I see them like being really confident, and also like them being as energetic as usual, in the sense, and also being as motivated and as ambitious as always, being like, if they have to participate in different talk shows, if they have to do interviews, if they have to, I don't know, do some promotions elsewhere, they will be everywhere. If they are invited, if you want, if some radio show or someone wants them to be there, they will be there. They will be like these early birds that will be standing in the door, be like, oh, hello. Like they are really willing, and they have a lot of desire to keep working, and this is amazing. And then, well, the actually the advice for him, from the oracle of the angels, is listen to your intuition. So definitely, I think that Um, we know that he's a Scorpio, but he has a lot of mercurial energy in him, in the fact that his moon is in Gemini, and I do not remember quite well if it was that his Venus is in Virgo or his Mars. I think it's his Mars. His Mars is in Virgo. So Virgo and Gemini, they tend to be like more on the Mercury kind of vibe. So they overthink, they analyze, they are very rational. They have a lot of ideas, and they, for them, it's really important to go through these ideas and also to be creative and to do something with these ideas. But at the same time, this oracle that is listen to your intuition. It means that he needs to connect more with his Scorpio energy. That sometimes when he feels, if he feels hopeless, or if he feels like that he's not sure, or if he feels overwhelmed by the responsibility or by some important task that he has to do, that he can rely on his intuition, that he needs to pay more attention to his intuition. I think that there's a blockage here when it comes to his intuition, probably because when you have like a lot of like Gemini and Virgo placements, sometimes you can get you tend to overthink a lot. So sometimes you become a bit like thoughts come and go really fast for you. So sometimes it's not easy, and there's no correct way to actually manage the amount of thoughts and ideas that you have. So sometimes he can feel a bit like burnout, a bit like, oh, I wish I could shut my mind down, but I cannot. I cannot stop thinking. And sometimes what he needs is to call to his intuition, to maybe pay more attention to his dreams, to his gut, to his sensations. He needs to connect more with his body, with his emotions, and also with his observant nature. And not in the sense of like as an air element would do, like, oh, I'm almost observing because I want to get to know this, and I want to know what this is about. No, when you observe from the water energy, from the energy of a Scorpio, you observe in order to go deeper, to go to the profundities of the matter. So this is why the intuition it's so personal, it's so intimate, because there's no right and wrong in your perception or your intuition. It's your experience. So you are the owner of your experience, and no one can tell you otherwise. No one can tell you like, oh no, what you have experienced is not like this. Only you know it because you went through this. So he needs to pay attention to his intuition, because when we think about thoughts and ideas, it's everything very like, it's like too rational, and sometimes it's like too organized. And sometimes for you to get the answers that you want, especially about life, especially maybe in an environment where you do not know who to trust, or maybe when you're in an environment where everyone wears a mask, and where somehow well, he's a Scorpio, so definitely if there's like some kind of sneaky person or activity, he will definitely be a bit aware of that. But I think that at the same time, these thoughts and ideas that he has, like all the time, somehow it's like they distract him from his intuitions. So this is what happens. He needs to connect with his more emotional nature, and he needs to also allow himself to feel a bit more. and not to get on this obsessive mode of rationalizing everything or trying to organize his thoughts or facts or things that he heard or things that he read somewhere, because it's like he's too in automatic because he needs to be in order for him to feel this kind of stability. He somehow needs an order when it comes to his thought pattern or his thought process, but at the same time he's not being authentic. He's not flowing with his experience. He's working like a computer. He's like processing information. So it sounds a bit robotic, actually. It sounds a bit like, I don't know, like stiff and like controlled for he has a very profound nature, so he needs to connect a bit more with his emotional nature and his situation, because in there he will find the answers that he desires. So yes, this is all I have for Hongjoong, ATEEZ leader. So I'm really glad that right now he is feeling in power and that he is really excited, and also that he and they are working really hard to make things happen for the group. So I think that the fans will be really lucky to be able to receive what they are working on. So this is great for him. So guys, of course, if you like the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't. So I will see you in the next video. Bye.